I want to, before we go on, I want to thank so many people that have worked so hard in the political establishment, and they're before me largely, and I think I'm gonna miss a few. It always happens when you do this, but it's just one of those things. But we have many senators here, many governors here, many state attorneys generals here. They're all over the place, actually. I see. Some of them went after me, but they failed. And they're really friends, and they're friends of women's sports, that I can tell you. So Senator Marsha Blackburn, where's Marsha? Hi. Senator Katie Britt. Thank you, Katie. Mike Lee, where's Mike? Mike. I love his new haircut. I love that haircut, Mike. He just said the hell with it.
Okay. Shalom, shalom, kwam yasa Allah, koholo imla Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai, bahashim Rakahakudash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water to our H.I.M and Akwaf. That's out here sincerely, keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Hanan Nawah, just coming at you with another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And that was Trump. He's given that executive order on these dudes being in women's sports. And he's up there clowning, man. But as he was walking up, you had these white women in the backdrop, and they gazing at Trump like they want to give him some. Now, mind you, he's up there, fighting for so-called women's rights. But this was the same guy that, that said grab him by the coochie. This was the same guy that, just got, he had charges against, women coming up against him, talking about, sexual assault and all this other shit. But hey, you even had so-called white women that were like, they didn't, they love the country more than, they just felt as if he would be a better president, even though they knew about him saying that, because that was a big thing, grab him by the coochie. When he was talking to that Bush guy back in the days, open, guess a little hot mic caught him saying, hey, he come from a time period and era with money where, that was well before the Me Too movement. And I'll put it that way. Now, this article right here that I have right here, though, is I watched this last night when he was doing, he had a meeting with the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, we call him. But it says Trump proposal of U.S. developing Gaza into Middle East Riviera draws global outrage, ethnic cleansing by another name. Hey, that was the first thing I thought too, because the man is very hypocritical. These Americans are very hypocritical. Like right now, he's talking about women's rights, no men in women's sports, but you was the same guy that was convicted of felonies and, with the same thing with the grab him by the box hookup, you know what I'm saying? So, he's very hypocritical. Now, when he was talking about this Gaza hookup last night, I was like, yeah, him and this guy, Benjamin Netanyahu, man, they stood right on national TV and told you pretty much how they stole that land and that they're going to, turn it into this beautiful place. They trying to find places in, I think, like Jordan, different places for these Palestinians to go. Now, though these people want to go home, even though it's war wrecked, you know what I'm saying, but Trump and them like, nah, pretty much overall, they're going to run all them people off and they're just going to do what they want to do with the land. His son-in-law and, it's just a whole bunch of wickedness, man. But let's get this little video here and grab a couple of scriptures. But these people are very hypocritical because just after, now I was watching earlier too as well. I can't think of his new press conference lady. Oh my, she is like a girl version of Trump. Really, she's the super duper, boy, that girl lie well. When I say, boy, she tell them lies. She pushed them lies just like Trump. You think that it's Trump and drag, man. But anyway, and I heard him mention as well last night. So really, she's repeating what he said. But they were talking about the California fires. You know what I'm saying? And how the people out there in California, even though it's war zone, it looked just like fucking Gaza. But they like, well, they should have access to their lands and, access to getting to their, their properties and this, that, and the third. And, this, and this. Well, why can't the Gazan people, or the Palestinians have access to their land. You know, because I remember when Trump was talking about, you know, he met up with the mayor of Los Angeles or whatever. What's the lady name? The little so-called black lady, you know, with the short ass haircut. But and he was trying to grill her, talking about, well, why should the people have to wait on the city when they can have their own dumpsters pulled in and start to remove the debris? He was like, they should be able to do that immediately. So what about Gaza? Why can't they do that? You know? Or you talking about putting them in places and making them feel safe and giving them another beautiful place to stay. Well, why can't you just go up in there? You got a ceasefire going on, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Why can't, you know, if they don't have the money to do it, you know, you claiming that people are going to come in with the money to develop the place. So why can't they come on in there, fix the plumbing, fix the water, you know, redo the infrastructure and get those people their shit back, which we know is not theirs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not advocating for them. I'm just saying the hypocrisy of this man's language and the way that he speaks, man. Well, we're not expecting no truth from Esau, because the scripture says to never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. But let's play this little video right here. Let's this is on X right here. Yeah, let's just play it real quick.
I think we need to reiterate what the President of the United States just said, and you said it, but it bears repeating. He just said that it will be United States policy to forcibly displace 2 million Palestinians from the Gaza Strip. That is ethnic cleansing by another name. He said the United States would then own the Gaza Strip, and that we would develop the Gaza Strip, and that other countries would take these Palestinians. He says he's talked to a lot of people and they think it's a great idea. Well, we know that just a few weeks ago, the Arab countries, key Arab countries, had an emergency meeting and responded forcefully against this idea and said it was unacceptable. So what the president is doing here is really throwing a match on an already very volatile region.
Okay, and there you have it. Because they're only doing what they've always done. You know, everywhere that Esau is, you know what I'm saying? Everywhere that there's the so-called white race, they call themselves Europeans, they call themselves, you know, Russians, Ukrainians, and, you know, all these different names, you know, British and whatever. But everywhere these people are is land that they've stolen. Is land that they've taken from, you know, the inhabitants there. And then, you know, they go in, they rename the shit after themselves. You know, or they'll, you know, pretty much overtake the person's heritage or their nationality, you know, type of deal. That's like those Israelis that's over there in Israel right now. Those are not real Israelites. Those are Edomites that have gone into that country, and with the help of the United States have gone in, and, you know, they've just been, you know, taking tracts of land, you know, about a decade. So they pretty much done conquered about what they wanted to conquer, and they're, you know, just out here just claiming to be something that they're not, man. These are imposters, and these are all Edomites that's in on the stealing of these lands, man. So I don't want to keep this long. I just wanted to grab a couple of scriptures real quick. Now, this is Habakkuk, chapter 2. Matter of fact, I probably should have just went all the way into it, but let me see. Yeah, let me just go off into it all the way here, starting from the top. Let me start at verse 3. Habakkuk 2 and 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So we're waiting on the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? He says, wait for me until I rise up to the prey. And these prophecies of the destruction and downfall of Esau is going to come to pass, man. Regardless to what they may say, or regardless to what you may believe, you know, that Romans 3 and 3 says, what if some did not believe? That's not going to make the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua without effect. His words will not return to him void. They shall go forth and do what he said they're going to do. And eventually these prophecies are going to come to pass, where Esau, he's going to go into captivity like how he has led the children of Israel into captivity. And all these nations have taken their part in this thing. So these so-called Arabs, you know what I'm saying, or the Ishmaelites, they really just, you know, they're reaping what they've sown as well. You know what I'm saying? But they are partners. They are enemies of the Lord. And there's a lot of separation and infighting amongst these enemies of the children of Israel, because all these nations are together. They're one consent, according to Psalms 83, when it comes to keeping the children of Israel down, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Though they do have infighting, what they do have in common is that we must keep these so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans forever finding out their true nationality, that they are the Israelites. We have to keep them, but see, it's infighting going on now, and they're going to be bucking and fighting against each other a lot more, so that, the scripture says that a house divided cannot stand. And their infrastructure is crumbling, from within. They're not getting along like how they would normally get along. That is no talks of let's keep things moving, smoothly. It's like everybody is just going for self, and Trump is just gonna make everything worse, man. Which we applaud it. But anyway, so that vision is yet to come, So though it seemed like it, because you do get a little bit impatient, you know what I'm saying? I feel it coming on sometimes, and I have to just catch myself, like, just, hey, we're another day closer. This is a day at a time type of thing. Take it a day at a time, because you don't want to overstress yourself, and you don't want to faint in this truth. Just wait it out, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you should be thankful for just this part of the being in this part of the movie, and knowing the true name of Yahweh and the true name of his son Yahweh Shai, and just seeing it play out, even with the pains and the vexations and the we absorb it all, man, because it's a part of the history that's going to be a part of our legacy in the kingdom to come, man. But verse 4, it says, behold, Habakkuk 2:4, behold, his soul which is lifted up in him is not right up, Salakia. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith. See, this his soul is not upright in him, but we're living by faith. Esau don't have no faith. He only has faith in his technology. He has faith in his own thoughts, his little science and shit like that. They don't have no faith in the Lord, even though they'll tell you about how much they believe in white Jesus, right? Verse 5, yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. See that? Who enlarges his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. See that? He's not a keeper at home. Here you go. You got all these problems going on here in the Americas, and you talking about taking over damn Panama Canal. You want Greenland. You want to change the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America. You trying to make Canada into a 51st state. You got all this shit going on in these raggedy ass Americas, but you got and that's where your mindset is at. But you talking about make America great again. Now I'm just looking at this in the backdrop with all these chicks. You got one little look like a Eve in the front, with a bunch of blonde hair, blue eyed white chicks. You know what I'm saying? That's clapping and applauding him on, looking at him like, they have no idea, man. If Trump has them a long time with them daughters that you're talking about, man, he'll fondle them. He'll do things to them, and his billionaire friends will most definitely do things to him. Straight up, man. Verse 6, it says, Habakkuk 2:6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Look at all the debt this place is in. That's what that thick clay is going into. Matter of fact, let's see here. You're like, they say damn near $40 trillion in debt, but if they saying 40 trillion, it's got to be well into the hundreds. Never can tell with these people, because they never will tell the truth. That's why the scripture says to never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Okay, so they have kabod, H35:13, and they have it as a phrase, and to him that ladeth, let's see, to be heavy, be weighty, be grievous, be hard, be rich, be honorable, be glorious, be burdensome, be honored. And basically they're burdening themselves with thick debt, man. Yep, it says in a bad sense, burdensome, severe, dull, or in a good sense. Okay, all right. That's overall what it is. It's It's grievous affliction, man. That's caused. He brings a sickness to himself overall. Let's go back. Verse 7. Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? See? Verse 7, it says, in the NLT, it says, suddenly your debtors will take action. They will turn on you and take all you have while you stand trembling and helpless. Because you have plundered many nations. Now all the survivors will plunder you. You committed murder throughout the countryside and filled the towns with violence. What sorrow awaits you who build big houses with money gained dishonestly? You believe your wealth will buy it by security, putting your family's nest beyond the reach of danger. But by the murders you committed, you have shamed your name and forfeited your lives. Right? So, hey, man, I mean, it is what it is, man. Hey, verse 11, let me jump back over to the KJV. It says, for the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam out of the timber shall answer it. And that's what's going on right now. The people are crying out. Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. Woe, see, because the scripture talks about how, roughly paraphrasing, the Lord told us don't defile the land with blood, because by the blood that you shed, by your blood is got to be paid for. And that's pretty much what's going to happen to Esau. See, he has shed a lot of blood. He has sown a lot of mischief in the land. And now all of a sudden, those seeds that he sowed long ago. See, because the Lord is not mocked. That a man soweth, that shall he also reap. The Lord, the seed time and harvest is real to the Lord. Everything that you do, they say, every action has a reaction. But it's really just seed time. You're sowing a seed because we're all planters. You can plant a seed of righteousness. You can plant a seed of wickedness. You can plant a seed. It's no different than planting cucumbers or watermelons or, tomatoes, onions, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what you sow, that's what you're going to reap. And sometimes it takes a little longer than others for you to get a certain crop. Of course, an apple tree, you're not going to get apples as quick as you would get tomatoes. Tomatoes you can get pretty fairly quickly within a month, 2 months, whatever amount of time. Apples, it take an apple tree to grow up, man. You're not getting an apple off that tree for maybe 15 to 20 years because it takes that much time for it to grow, But this man has reaped a lot of he's gonna reap a lot of chaos because he has sown a lot of chaos, and he has never had mercy, man, on the people, especially the Israelites, right? So he's gonna pay for these things. Let me see. I want to get something else. Salakia. Okay, yeah, James chapter 5 and verse 1. Let's start there. It says, go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have reaped treasures together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you, kept back by fraud, crieth. And the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth, and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doeth not resist you. See? And this is overall your Edomite, man. Your average Edomite, that's these bankers, these, the ones that's into these pharmaceuticals. Yeah, they own every goddamn thing, man. Then you have your little level under them, your billionaires, like this Elon Musk, this team that Trump them put together, you know what I'm saying? Because really they're poor when it comes to the elite, your Rothschilds and things of that nature, but they do have some money and power and influence, and you'll see their faces before you actually see the faces of the real rich, right? Verse 7, be patient, therefore, brethren, unto the coming of the Lord. And that's a commandment from the Lord. We just have to be patient. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. Be ye also patient, establish your hearts, for the coming of the Lord draweth nigh. And that's what we're waiting on. So when the Lord comes, guess what? These so-called white people that's running around here taking land, like how they've been taking land, their asses are going directly into chains. They're going directly into captivity. According to Revelation chapter 13, right here, verse 9, let's start there. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here's the patience and the faith of the saints. See? And the very sword that they've been living by, that's the very sword that they're going to, be taken down by. They really think that, America and, just these so-called white people, wherever they rule, them as a people, their kingdom, they really believe that it's going to carry on. And it's not. When I quoted this one, Galatians 6 and 7. It says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. And Esau, the man, is the progenitor of a race of people called the Edomites, or what they call today, they call themselves, white people, or Europeans, or, different country names, land masses they've taken over. They call themselves, all these different names, but they are really Edomites. But now when you go to Job, chapter 34 and verse 29, it just shows you that the Lord, he deals with nations. He sets up nations and he brings them down when he wants to. Job 34 and 29, when he giveth quietness, this is talking about the Lord Yahweh. Who then can make trouble? And when he hideth his face, who then can behold him, whether it be done against a nation or a man only? See, so the Lord, he deals with nations of people, and he deals with the men, women, and children in those individual nations. So now you go to, let's go to Daniel real quick, chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. So the Lord is the one that sets up nations and brings down nations, right? Some precepts to that as well. Salakia. Yeah, right here, Jeremiah chapter 27, verse 5. Let's start there. I have made the earth, the man, and the beast that are upon the ground by my great power and by my outstretched arm, and have given it unto whom it seemed meet unto me. Right? So the Lord, he gives the kingdom to whoever he wants to give it to. And now I have given all these lands into the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, my servant, and the beasts of the field have I given him also to serve him, and all nations shall serve him, and his son, and his son's sons, until the very time his land come. And then many nations and great kings shall serve themselves of him. So the Lord, he sets up kingdoms, man, and he breaks them down when he's ready. This is what it is, and no one can get beyond that. So these Edomites, they really believe that it's within their power, their might, to, they really think that the reason why they're in power is because of them. See? Psalms chapter 75 and 6, it says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but Yahweh is the judge. He put it down and set it up another. See? Can't get around it, man. So the same way that the Lord set these people up for a period of time, they're gonna fall. It just is what it is. There have been great kingdoms, great empires of the world where the Lord, he just set time limits for them. And America, or these Edomite nations, the Edomite as a kingdom, it's no different with them. They're gonna fall as well. And then Yahushua is gonna come. We're gonna go into rulership, as a people, the children of Israel. But that's going to be an everlasting kingdom. The Lord, Yahweh's kingdom is going to be everlasting. There's not going to be another kingdom being set up. That's going to be it. All the kingdoms have run their course according to the book of Daniel. With all the, with the statue. The vision of the statue. All these nations will run their course, man. And Esau, he's back at the end, and the Lord is going to come, and that's going to be it. and these people are going into captivity, and they will never have any power ever again. They're not gonna ever they're not gonna be in power over nothing. Motherfucker not gonna be in I'm talking about when I say nothing but work, they're just gonna be slaves, man. You know, they run their course. They've lived the rich life. They've lived in the best parts of the land. They've had all the enjoyment of the earth. The children of Israel are the only ones that have never had pleasure as far as the creation that the Lord gave. But guess what? Our hookup is an everlasting celebration, so to speak, man. So hey, this is what we're looking forward to. But this man right here, boy, hey, when I was listening to it, look at it. All you got to do is YouTube it. You know what I'm saying? I might go into it again myself. But I was looking at that shit, like the shit that they was talking, and they was standing there with the proudest fucking looks on their faces, man, talking about taking that land, and pretty much shit, they sound, from the way they were sounding, they gonna turn it into a Las Vegas Strip. Because it's because that's beautiful land. That is the land of the children of Israel, actually. That is that land of milk and honey over there, man. They want that land. You know what I'm saying? They know the value of that land. That land is the most valuable land in the entire universe, or in the entire, on Earth, rather. I will put it that way. See? And this right here says the president remarks about the Riviera of the Middle East closely followed comments made by his son-in-law Jared Kushner last March, when he said Israel should kick out the Palestinians so it can develop Gaza's great beachfront property. And that's exactly what they're trying to do. And again, we're not advocating for no damn Palestinians, because those Ishmaelites are going into captivity right along with the Edomites, man. So, good riddance. We don't give a fuck about them being kicked out of there. We're just saying that, Esau, he's very sly and very hypocritical with the words, man. So I'm going to end out there. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Allah and the Bible Ball.